When the California gold rush ended in 1855, America believed the chapter was closed. Millions had chased dreams of fortune, and the world moved on. But in the summer of 2024, a discovery in the Sierra Nevada mountains forced historians to reconsider everything they thought they knew. Ethan Ward, a retired geological surveyor known for exposing mining scandals, received an encrypted email from an anonymous sender. The message contained only coordinates, a single photograph of a weathered leather pouch, and one handwritten line: "It was never over." Ethan hesitated at first. Hoaxes like this were common. But something about the sender's precision, the cold altitude data, the soil composition listed in the margins, felt disturbingly authentic. When Ethan reached the coordinates, he found the ruins of an 1870s mining outpost buried beneath collapsed timber and overgrown brush. Inside a rusted metal cabinet lay the leather pouch from the photograph. And inside it, a map, not just a map, a hand-drawn mining route labeled with sites historians believed had never existed. Eagle's Vein, Black Echo Shaft, and one that made Ethan freeze: the second Mother Lode. According to textbooks, the Mother Lode was a single geological zone. The existence of a second one would rewrite American economic history. The map's ink shimmered oddly, as if layered with minerals. Ethan brushed dirt from the edges and felt tiny perforations beneath his thumb. These weren't ordinary pinholes. They matched the magnetic marking patterns used by 20th century military reconnaissance. But this map was dated 1849. Back home, Ethan ran high-resolution scans. Beneath the visible ink, a faint sublayer emerged. Coordinates aligned with abandoned federal land parcels, areas sealed by presidential order in 1953. Why would the U.S. government lock down an empty mountain region almost a century after the gold rush? Ethan dug deeper. He cross-referenced the coordinates with declassified documents and discovered repeated references to a program he had never encountered. N197, Mineral Preservation Directive. Its purpose was unclear. Every section describing it had been redacted. Yet the unredacted margins carried a warning: unauthorized excavation risks destabilizing resource control systems. Resource control of what? Gold? Or something never publicly acknowledged? Days later, Ethan received a second message. No text, just an audio file. Static crackled, then a man whispered, "You're not the first to find it, but you must be the last." Ethan felt a cold pressure in his chest. Someone was watching him. He returned to the map. Using spectral analysis, he uncovered micro-etchings along the borders. Mining claims signed not by prospectors, but by federal agents. Dates ranged from 1890 to 1978. The federal government had been quietly mining the region for over 8 decades. But what were they extracting? Historical newspapers from the 1930s mentioned tremors, unexplained blasts, and sealed tunnels. Early reports blamed unstable rock layers, but the patterns matched controlled detonations. Someone had been hiding or protecting something beneath the earth. The deeper Ethan went, the stranger it became. A photograph surfaced in a military archive showing crates marked with an unfamiliar seal: U.S. Geological Security Bureau, a department that officially never existed. The crate's contents were redacted with a classification stamp Ethan had never seen before: auric level clearance. Gold is valuable, but not auric level valuable. Unless it wasn't just gold. Ethan located one of the mines listed on the map. Hidden behind a rock slide, a narrow shaft descended into darkness, untouched for decades. He followed the tunnel until the air grew metallic and heavy. The walls glittered faintly, not with gold, but with a mineral he didn't recognize. Geometric, angular, almost engineered. Then he found them. Drills, sensors, and a rusted generator stamped with a date, 1954. The U.S. had been here, recently enough for tools to survive. When Ethan touched the mineral vein, it vibrated faintly, like a tuning fork. This wasn't gold. This was something capable of storing or transmitting energy. He recorded samples, but as he prepared to leave, he heard footsteps above ground. Quiet, slow, deliberate. Ethan extinguished his light. A voice echoed down the shaft. The rush never ended. It just went underground. He fled through a secondary tunnel, emerging miles from the main entrance. He drove through the night, heart pounding, headlights slicing through the darkness. The map in his backpack felt heavier than stone. The next morning, he uploaded his findings to a secure cloud. Minutes later, his internet connection cut out. His phone shut off. A black SUV parked outside his house. Ethan escaped before they reached the door. His final message appeared on a private research forum. They found the map. They want it back. If you're reading this, the gold rush never ended. The map, the mines, the mineral, everything had been hidden for nearly 2 centuries. Not to protect the land, but to protect the truth. A truth powerful enough to reshape America. A truth someone is still desperately trying to bury. And in 2024, it resurfaced. If you think this story ends here, you're mistaken. What Ethan uncovered was only the first layer. Everything else is still buried in the dark, and we're standing right at its door. Don't forget to subscribe. Now let me ask you, who really controls N197? Drop your theory in the comments. Sometimes the wildest idea is the closest to the truth. And before you go, there's another case you'd never expect to be connected. Once you watch it, the reason this map was hidden for centuries becomes clearer. Open the Harvard Time Machine file, or listen to what really woke up beneath Yellowstone. Whichever path you choose, it will take you to the next layer. The truth isn't over. It just went deeper.